Hi guys, Solar here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys Spawn Universe Redeemer. And for eagle-eyed viewers of the channel, you're probably wondering, Overlord, didn't you already review this figure? And for those of you who have been paying attention, yes, I have, but this is not the same as the Redeemer I took a look at a few weeks ago, back in October. This is the Platinum Edition Chase variant. That's right. Your boy's a total sucker and bought the variant mostly because I thought it looked a little nicer. I like the more premium paint job that this guy has over the more matte look that the previous version has. And before I get into it, I just want to give a special shout out to the local friend who shall not be named for privacy reasons for picking me up this figure the other day while he was out and about. So shout out to him. Again, a lot of the stuff I review on this channel is because of people like him and my dad and T-Biz. Shout out to T-Biz because he doesn't get enough shout outs, does he? That's sarcasm. But as far as accessories go, this guy comes with the same Spawn stand that we're used to seeing, which he actually can stand way better than my other one. So that's a plus already. Although I am kind of cheating here, I do have him on my Gestalt stand for holding winged figures up using the DC Multiverse stand, which is a very, very simple solution for those of you who have these, because you got the platform, you got the arm, you got the clamp. Works really, really well. But if I can pull this off here, he can stand just fine on his own. So, you know, that's cool. But taking this sword out of his hand, if I can get it out, take a look-see at that quick. I'll lay him this way. This is a different sword entirely from the previous release, which I will be doing a comparison to during the comparisons part of this video. But as you can see, it's got a little bit more of a wing type hilt here, and the blade is a little bit more curved. I think this Redeemer is supposed to be like the main Redeemer from like the early 2000s, like a modern version of that character, if I am not mistaken. I could be wrong. I don't know anything and everything when it comes to Spawn, but I do know enough, and I think this is supposed to be the main guy, but again, I could be wrong. This is a really cool looking sword. I dig this. I kind of like the blade on the other one better, because it's bigger. It's like a broadsword, where this is more like a, you know, traditional fighting sword. Close combat. And then we have the figure himself. And I don't know about you guys, but this guy looks a little bit more premium as far as the paint goes. He's got a much shinier gold on him than the previous release. And then he's got green wings. And the articulation's the same on this guy as it is on the other one. I will leave a link to that review in the description below, so you can go check that out in its entirety, which I have actually modified that figure a little bit since I filmed that review. So he's not as loose, but wow, this is super tight. But yeah, it's a nicer version of that figure, which was already decent, just a little loose in places. This one is no slouch. This is a really nice release. I really dig the look of this guy. I've always thought Redeemer was a cool design, even though the concept behind him is a little hokey. But, you know, it's the same figure, though. Head to toe, same sculpt and everything. I don't notice any different sculpt other than the sword, and the wings are the same. They got the ball joints so they can move up and down or back and forward and rotate at the base here. So, you know, it's the same. It's more of the same. It's just, I think, a little bit more well done. One of the things I like to do with Redeemer is I like to have the wings kind of going forward a bit. It helps them stand a little better. But yeah, you can see this guy's a champ. He stands perfectly. This hip is still a little bit loose, but you can see it's not nearly as loose as the other one, and this one is rock solid. This foot here is the only real loose joint on him, but this foot is rock solid as well. So I can easily get this guy to stand. And the other thing to note about the Redeemer figures is the foot on the left side does not sit flush. I'm not sure why that is. It's like this on the regular release. I can't get this down any more than it is, so I'm not quite sure what's up with that. It seems like it's down all the way, but it does have a bit of a lip to it, so, you know, pushing on it there. It's not going down anymore, so, you know, that's kind of weird. It sits pretty flush on this side, but then not this side, so, you know, he's got kind of a curved toe thing going on, which, it's whatever. It doesn't bug me too much, but it is something to point out if you're OCD like me, and that may potentially bother you. I've just come to accept it because I have two of these guys now, and they both have it, so, you know. But look at that figure, man. He has such a presence. This is a presence figure. It's not so much a like thing you can really mess around with. I mean, you can. He has the points and everything, but the way I see it, what's the point of putting in a bunch of articulation if, you know, the aesthetic's gonna affect it? So, you know, I don't think he needed all the torso joints he has, for starters. The toe joints he definitely does not need. But, you know, it's a nice release. I'll stand him back there. He can lean against the backdrop. His head is also very stiff like the other version as well. And another thing to note, I did have to heat the wings up on this guy. So, you know, be careful when you open this guy. You don't want to break the wings, the little ball joints. Getting him centered here. I mean, yeah, he could stand quite all right. He looks great. Just standing there all kind of imposing and whatnot. Has a really nice presence. I'm going to say that this version of this figure is most likely going to be mentioned during my top 10 figures of the year. I don't know if he'll make that top 10, but he'll definitely be an honorable mention because this figure is solid. This is a lot better than the first one I got, so I couldn't be any more happier with this guy. I think he's awesome now. Now that I got one that I can kind of mess around with, we'll see what I can pull off for the URL. Well, you've already seen it, but I haven't. That's the time I'm recording this anyway. So, with that being said, I'm going to quit babbling. Move on to some comparisons. First up, and as promised, here is our new-ish. Is this new? I feel like I'm one of the few people in the country that's actually found this within the country. But at any rate, here is our Platinum Edition Redeemer next to the previous release, the Standard Redeemer, who's still got a loose left hip, but I think I could fix that with a bit of super glue nail polish. You know the drill. But at any rate, you could see that the new one, the swords are completely different sculpt entirely. The wings are a little bit more green. Well, they're really green, which I actually thought I wasn't going to dig as much, but I actually like that quite a bit. And then the gold, it looks the same on camera, but in person, the Platinum Edition looks a little bit more shiny. To me, anyways. Maybe I'm crazy, but they kind of look similar on camera, but in person, the standard release is a little bit more matte, and the Platinum is a little bit more shiny. I don't know if that's just because I've had them for a while or what, but it's just something I've noticed anyways. But if I had to choose between these two, I would definitely pick the Platinum Edition, even though I think the regular edition sword is a little bit cooler. As far as the overall sculpt and paint goes, I think that's a much cooler looking weapon. I still like both of these guys, but I gotta pick the Platinum Edition. I just like the paint. The overall quality of the figure is a little better. And I actually dig the wings quite a bit on the Platinum Edition. A little bit more color added in there. And last, but certainly not least, because I've already taken a look at this figure for the most part, quite a while ago. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below to that video. We have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the MK11 Spawn, and I think this Redeemer is going to be the one I use in photos and whatnot, duking it out with Spawn or the NECA Goliath, which I've also tweaked at this point, so yay me! I'm on a winning streak as far as fixing things goes. At least I like to think that anyways. But, with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and I gotta be honest here, I think this is, yet again, the more superior version of this figure. Not only is the overall quality a little bit better, but I think the paint is a little bit more premium, and I do dig the fact that they added some different color to the wings and a different sword to boot. That said, it does still maintain some of the issues I had with the other one, just a little bit less so, because again, the overall quality, the tightness of the joints is much, much better on this figure. So maybe if you got a few of the other Redeemer, you'd probably get one that's pretty decent, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to fix new toys, right? So with that being said, I would highly recommend you check this out if you're at all interested in being a total tool like yours truly and a pseudo-completionist on this line. Again, I don't typically buy variants, but Spawn is one of the things that's very near and dear to my heart. And for those of you who thought I was going to be a sucker and fall for it, you're absolutely right. So, there you go. Also want to mention, I think this is a Walmart exclusive, but don't hold me to that. If you see it at Target, don't leave it there because chances are you're not going to see it again. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, because we got to show that algorithm who's boss, right? And if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.